പോരുന്നില്ല 9:00. Hi, hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another session of Ask Me Anything. These sessions happen every Tuesday on my YouTube channel. So it's nice to be back. So this week we talk about sleep, and if you don't sleep properly, what are the ill effects that are going to happen? Okay, so here we go. So Ask Me Anything weekly sessions every Tuesday. So the effects of bad sleep. Yes, Kamalnath, good evening. So let's start. So just like last week we said, sleep is Nidra in Sanskrit, and it's also Swapna and Shayana also. Many a times it refers to sleep, and sleep is one among the three sub pillars in our life. And if you sleep really well, apart from eating food and other things, your life is going to be much healthier. That's why a lot of importance has been given to sleep. And last week we discussed about what are the good qualities when you get sleep. Now we are going to get, if you don't sleep properly, what is going to happen. So let's get into that. This according to Ashtanga Hridaya. Okay, so day sleep contraindication. So if you sleep in the day, what is going to happen? Let's understand that first. Bahumedas, that means your fat actually goes up. That means you put on weight. Okay, bad fat is actually necessary for the body's natural functioning, but if you put on a lot of weight, then it's going to be a problem. Okay, excess of kapha, your kapha goes up, and all diseases like cough and phlegm and all other things can also go up. And then a person who is snehanitya, that means who applies oil on the body on a regular basis, both external and internal, who is somebody who consumes lot of ghee or oil on a regular basis, also is not supposed to sleep during the day. Okay, so these are conditions where you're not supposed to sleep during the day. Now, what will happen if you sleep during the day? Okay, what? Moham in the sense, you'll have a loss of sense. Sometimes you have noticed that if you sleep during the day and you get up, you will not know whether it's day or night, what time it is. That means you're completely lost. Okay, jwaram, there's always a chance of you getting fever because it can lead to indigestion. Stabdada, stiffness, it's very difficult for you to get up from when you sleep for long during the day. You would have noticed that you want to sleep again and again and again. Okay, running nose, in the sense you get up in the afternoon, you'll feel your nose is running. Okay, shiroruk, there's chance of you getting headache. Cough is also something which can come when you keep on doing day sleep on a regular basis. Agnimandyam is not lack of appetite. Generally it is mainly your digestive capacity goes down. Okay, so it can lead to indigestion. Okay, now management of reduced sleep. If your sleep is reduced, then how do you manage that? Okay, as I said, we manage a lot of things in two steps. One is ahara and the other one is vihara. Ahara is food and vihara is your lifestyle. So if you follow these things, if you consume milk, okay, or alcohol, or drink meat soup or curd, okay, these four things will actually increase that little bit of kapha and tamas in your life and see that you sleep much better. Okay, and now vihara is your activities. What all you have to do? Okay, massage of the body, abhyanga, is something which you have to do. If you do that, you sleep better. Okay, and then what? Snanam, if you take a shower. You have noticed that if you have sweat and you are sticky, you will not sleep well. If you probably take a good shower, okay, warm water shower, your sleep is much better. Shirovasti, okay, that is again, that goes into deep treatments. Okay, that means you have been not sleeping for long, you have got chronic sleeping issues. Okay, shirovasti is good. Shirovasti is basically applying oil in plenty on the head. Okay, karna purna is pouring oil in the ears, and netra tarpana is basically you create a bund over here and fill it with oil or ghee. So what you're trying to do is we are trying to increase that kapha, which will help you sleep better, because lack of sleep increases vata and pitta beyond a certain limit. Okay, so when you sleep, your kapha goes up. So basically, sleep is kapha. So whatever activities you do to increase that kapha, that's what he said. Milk, alcohol, meat, soup, curd, massage, shower, chirovasi, karnapurna, neta tarpana, all those things which will contribute to that increase in kapha, and you will sleep better. Okay, so slowly you can start asking your questions. Okay, so let me start taking the questions now. Different Prakriti people would have different sleep patterns. For me, even a slight sound, my sleep gets disturbed. Yes, let me put that question there. So, different Prakriti people, yes, would have different sleep patterns. For a Vata person, the sleep is always superficial, and if the, as you said, if the sleep is disturbed, uh, what happens is easy for their sleep to get disturbed, and it's easier for them to go back to sleep also. Pure more of Vata person. Kapha person, it is very difficult to wake that person up. Okay, so but once a person wakes up, he might find it slightly difficult to sleep. Pitta person, he doesn't have that good a sleep. Okay, he'll have all kinds of dreams and all those things. So for a Vata person, if you are Vata Prakriti, you'll know that as slightest of sound can actually, you can sleep can get disturbed, and you might be able to go back to sleep again. Okay. Yes, Kamalnath, good evening. Gauri, namaste. Tejeshwara, hi. Yeah, what is the cause of white hairs for youngsters around 25 years of age? Okay, Tejeshwara, we believe that when there is a lot of heat being generated in the body, when the pitta is slightly high, we notice that the root hairs actually go through their life cycle pretty faster than normal. Then what happens is the hair actually starts getting whiter earlier, so pitta is the thing. And if you indulge in activities, food or activities which increases pitta, like alcohol, like over exercise, or not sleeping at night, or too much of spicy food and all those things, your pitta goes up. Okay, and when your pitta goes up, then naturally your hair's got a chance of getting graying pretty fast. Also, water nowadays are extremely acidic. There are a lot of other factors which can increase pitta. Okay, shampoos, harsh shampoos, or conditioners, or probably hot water on the head, using hot blower, anything that can increase the heat of the body will lead to early graying. So, doc, how many times can we take sauna in a month living in a cold country? I'm not a huge fan of sauna. In the sense, I would say, sauna actually dehydrates you a lot. You'll feel like you feel good, but the problem is that it dehydrates you a lot. And merely drinking water will not rehydrate you, because when you're dehydrated, you have got a lot of salts also that is lost. So you may not be able to replenish by drinking normal oral rehydration solutions. So I would say, it's not good for you to continuously or frequently go for sauna baths, whether it is cold or whether it is hot. Okay, let probably might be once in 15 days or something might be good. A hot water shower, I would say, would actually help you maintain it, rather than going for a sauna which pulls everything out. Okay. Now, what do you do during your free time? Okay. No, I don't have a clinic in Gujarat. I had gone on some official work. Okay, so I finished that work for 2 days and I came back. So, free time, yeah, I probably do a little bit of reading, or I sit silently. But free time is I read the newspaper really well. Okay, and I try to disconnect myself from gadgets as much as possible when I get free time. Okay, I talk to people rather than sitting and watching a movie or being on the gadget. Okay, now can you advise any layhem which can be used as general tonic and for daily use? Any layhem, I would say Chavanaprasham is one layhem which can be used by all age group, children to adult to elderly people. You can use that on a regular basis, and it actually helps what do you call, nourish all your tissues. It is a very, very, very good rasayana. So absolutely no issues at all. You can use Chyawanprash, but see that you drink a glass of milk after you consume Chyawanprash. And just because it is good, I don't want you to over consume it. Consuming it once a day, might be a teaspoon to a tablespoon once a day in the morning, and doing it consistently will give you results. Okay, taking too much will not give you more results. Okay. How does curd help to sleep? How is it recommended? Please elaborate. Okay, curd is something which is not supposed to be consumed on a daily basis. Okay, so here what happens is, since you have got a problem of sleeplessness, it is a disease condition. That is why curd has been indicated as a medicine. Okay, food as medicine here. So what happens with curd is, curd actually increases that kapha a bit too much, and which promotes that sleep. So apart from that, curd doesn't have anything that will put you to sleep. It will increase that tamas and kapha in you more, so that you sleep better. Okay. What does applying oil to hair do? So applying oil to hair, yes, I would say, I would always ask you to apply oil on the scalp. Hair, it doesn't add too much. I would say apply it really well on the scalp, and then use a comb to spread it onto your hair. Okay, rather than what you call applying all the oil on the hair, I would say focus on applying on the scalp, because the scalp is the one that provides nutrition to the root hairs. So if the scalp is balanced and the nourishment is there properly, the hair roots will get nourishment. And if the hair roots are good, then you will have good hair. But merely applying on the hair, yes, it gives it shine, but it does not improve the quality of your hair. Mentioned Sneha Nitya, and what was that? I didn't understand the connection. Sneha Nitya is something where, a person who is consuming oil, or who is undergoing a Snehana therapy massage. Okay, so such people, what happens is, when a person is taking ghee, for example, you're going through Snehapana, you're going through Panchakarma, and if you take that large amount of ghee, and if you go to bed during the day, you will not be able to digest that ghee. So if a person who takes ghee in good quantities on a daily basis, okay, if he sleeps during the day, his digestion is hindered. Or for a person who applies who applies oil on the body on a regular basis, and if he sleeps in the afternoon, he'll feel extremely heavy, and his kapha will go down. But there are indications when, elderly people, they can apply oil on the body, they can take a little bit of ghee also. But for them, sleep afternoon sleep is indicated. Even during summers is indicated. This is general rule, Gauri. Okay. Could you please talk about a little bit of turmeric? Is it good to use as a kitchen spice, or better to avoid? See, kitchen spice in the sense, turmeric is something which is very good, very effective, but it is good when you take it in small doses. Don't overdo it, like 1 teaspoon in milk and all. Sometimes what happens is people overdo things. So when a turmeric is actually it generates a lot of heat in the body. So when turmeric is consumed in a large quantity, it generates a lot of heat in the body. And in my opinion, we have found that it is not very good for the liver if you take in large quantities. So what you have to do is, and it is not supposed to be taken uncooked. So you can add a little bit of turmeric into the sabji, whatever sabji you're making. Okay, and then you heat it, and once you cook the the turmeric actually becomes tolerable for the body. And when it gets into your system in small quantities on a daily basis, your body will start seeing benefits. Don't take 1 teaspoon of turmeric on empty stomach or on a regular basis. The body might not be able to take it. My son stopped using cow milk, curd, ghee. I noticed that he has become thin and only 2 times taking food. I feel there is insufficient food taking. He's 25 years from. Yes, we consider milk to be one of the best rasayanas, and the ghee which comes out of milk is also considered to be very good. So yes, it also depends upon the source of milk, but you can't blame milk for that. Okay, sometimes the source of milk, or the torture with the animal goes through to give milk and all those things. That's a different topic altogether. But milk per se is something which will nourish the whole body. Okay, so it is only, the only one thing which what you call pacifies hunger and thirst at the same time. Okay, so it is supposed to be rasayana, uttama rasayana. We consider milk to be superfood, and whatever comes from milk also is considered to be very good. So I think you should try something else to give him so that he actually stays healthy. If he's healthy, I think you don't have to be too worried. But it might be also his prakriti that he's thin. Okay, health is more important than rather being thin or plump. Is sauna good for reducing kapha, and can pitta people safely use sauna rather than steam rooms? Steam, sauna is good for reducing kapha, yes, because of the ushnatva, and there's always a chance of your pitta going up. So I would say, it can't be too hot. For that's one reason why for pitta people we don't indicate too much of swedana or steaming. Okay, so if you're moderate with your steaming and sauna, you will not have a problem for pitta people also, but be slightly careful about because your body itself is slightly hot, and if you expose your body to that kind of heat, it might not be very good for your eyes, your hair, and other parts of your blood also. Okay, so be moderate about it. um, Ayurveda does not talk too much about BP. Okay, even though the first contribution for the BP medicine was from Ayurveda, Sarpagandha. Okay, Ravolfia serpentina. Okay, that is a contribution from the first BP medicine was made from Ravolfia. Okay, and then different derivatives started coming up through chemicals. So Ayurveda does not talk directly about BP, but once BP is not something which is not irreversible. So if the BP starts initially, so for us any disease which starts initially, it's in the kapha stage, then pitta stage, and then in the vata stage. So whatever comes in the kapha stage is something which is definitely reversible. Okay, so first stage, if the BP has just started, I say that yes, you can definitely reverse it, but you have to understand what is causing that BP. It can be your food habits or your lifestyle habits or your stress. So trying to understand what is causing that and trying to resolve that or take care of that is extremely important. But after a point of time, when you become extremely dependent on medicines, then it becomes very difficult for you to reverse blood pressure. Same thing applies to diabetes also. Okay, so how many before minutes before bed one should avoid screen to have better sleep? So it depends from person to person. I would say uh, give your eyes, your mind, and your ears and all those at least 45 minutes. I would say one muhurta, so 45 minutes of rest before you go to bed. Anytime, so if you break up from all these things, you feel relaxed. You can probably talk to somebody, or you can probably read something. Okay, mild music you can play. Something which does not excite your senses too much is what you have to be careful about. So 45 minutes is what I recommend, one muhurta. So thoughts on using avoiding underwear affecting sleep. Also, can you please share insights on modern wear effects as compared to traditional yeah, Langoti, we call that, used earlier? What would the approach? See, anything, if you look at a man, okay, the genitals and the scrotum, if too much of heat is being generated in that area, okay, there you will end up in a lot of problems. Okay, your sperm count can go down, that. So your scrotum and all those things need to be cool. That's the reason why it is outside the body. You would have noticed that when the weather is very very cold outside, the scrotum gets closer to the body to get that heat, and when it is very hot outside, the scrotum actually comes down to prevent to actually not get exposed to that heat. So your genitals is not something which wants a lot of heat. Okay, so in the summers and things, when we would not recommend you to wear that tight undergarment and actually go to bed. So anything which is airy, which helps air move inside outside, is recommended. Okay, yes, the traditional kaupinam, we call that in Sanskrit, konakam in Malayalam. is actually good. Okay. Is coffee bad according to Ayurveda? See, coffee directly has, you don't see too much of reference of coffee, but when you look at the qualities of coffee, coffee is something which can generate a lot of heat, and it's got the properties of scraping. So if for something, if you say that you have got too much of cholesterol and your fatty liver and all those things, little bit of moderation, little bit of coffee might be okay. But if you start drinking too much of coffee, 4 cups, 5 cups, 6 cups of coffee per day, they'll say it's, liver might feel okay, but I don't think it is very good for the gut. It generates a lot of heat, and it removes the, it can lead to acidity, and and coffee is something which excites you too much, and it can lead also to too much of palpitation. Okay, so nothing is very good when it is consumed too much. Okay, and I would not recommend I see a lot of people say 4 to 6 cups of coffee per day, black coffee. I don't recommend that. Be moderate about, try to understand your body. Okay, and then follow that. Good Chyawanprash in UK, I don't know, Gauri. See if you can get somebody to get good Chyawanprash from India. Nagarjuna is a good company, or Vaidyaratnam is actually a good company. Most companies which manufacture Chyawanprash from Kerala, they do manufacture really well. You can source some of them, absolutely no issues. UK, absolutely no idea, Gauri. Okay. Is plank exercise helpful and useful? Plank is something, it's also called Ironman, which is useful for strengthening your back and flattening your tummy. Okay, so I don't want you to directly go and do plank. I want you to actually do a little bit of exercise, warm your body up. After you finish exercise, plank is something which you can do at the end of your exercise. Okay, planks are good, but don't overdo things. What kind of exercise supports good sleep, doctor? Please exclude yoga and gym. I would say walking, because if one thing you will have noticed, that once the body is slightly tired, you get good sleep. But if you overdo, sometimes, as you said, rightly said, gym. If you overdo the gym, there's a very high chance that your the heat of the body actually goes up more than normal, and you feel overexcited. That is also not good. So moderate walking will actually tire your body a little bit, so that you can get into sleep. And other things also act, if you have taken the right kind of food and you don't have too much of tensions and all those things, then you can stay sleeping. But mild, I would always recommend mild exercises, moderate exercise, where your body gets slightly tired, you can sleep really well. Okay. Where is it? Let me see. Saunas always make me feel weak and uncomfortable. Yes, Naveen, probably you might be more of Vata Pitta Prakriti, where sauna, if you take a sauna bath, you will notice that you sweat a little bit more than normal, and you feel dehydrated, denourished, and dehydrated. Most people feel that. Okay, so if you feel so, I would say avoid it or reduce the intensity of the sauna. Even if I eat too much nutritious, healthy food every day, I don't get fit. My BMI is very low. They just say your BMI, I would say it also has to got a little bit, your exercise routine. Exercise is actually good for losing weight, and exercise also good for you to be healthy and put on weight. So not only food, okay, food and not only food, actually not only ahara, vihara, and vichara. If these three things have to be taken care of, Tejeshwara. Okay, you eat right food in the small quantities. Your calorie input versus calorie output also has to be taken into consideration. And BMI, don't be too worried about it. A lot of people are over obsessed with BMI. For a person who is Vata Prakriti, he'll be thin and he'll be healthy. For a Pitta Prakriti, the BMI actually works for a Pitta Prakriti person. He'll be medium and healthy. For a Kapha person, he'll be slightly plumper and he'll be healthy. So BMI, following BMI everywhere can be sometimes not so good. Okay. How is sitting on the floor and eating beneficial than sitting on the table? Tejeshwara, when you traditionally what we have, the way we have to sit is you have to sit on the floor, okay, not on the floor directly on the floor. You have to sit on a pita, which is like uh, on a higher place, and the food is served at a lower place. So that means you will have, so every time you have to bend. So every time you bend and eat, your stomach keeps on pushing. So so the moment the stomach is half full or slightly more than that, you will feel that you're full. But if you're sitting on a table and sitting and eating, there is always a chance of you overeating. Okay, so you bending and eating every time you have to eat food will see that you eat less. Okay, your consumption actually goes down and it is healthier. How to develop deep sleep? I get up once in midnight for washroom. That's okay, Madal Ambika. Ambika, that is fine. Getting up once in, probably you might be drinking too much of water at bedtime. Just see if you're doing that. Okay, if you're doing that, if you cut down that amount of water, then fine. Or if the weather is too cold, there's always a chance that you might go to the bathroom once. It's perfectly normal after a point. Kids, they just sleep through the night, but adults, yes, after a certain age, their sleep breaks once in a while. They go to the bathroom, come back, and if you are able to go back to sleep, then I don't think there is any problem. Okay, don't think that when I was a child or when I was young, I used to have one night's sleep. As you grow old, you might not be getting that. Okay. Is Langoti in Langoti there is no scope for air passage. So how is it good? Langoti is different from Kaupinam. Okay, Langoti is the one which you wear when you're doing exercises, which is actually tight, very very tight. Okay, when you're doing exercise, especially when you're lifting too much of weight. But Langoti is not the one which you use on a regular basis. That's called Kaupina. Okay, and that is loose. Okay. What can one do instead of regular toothpaste outside India? Is baking soda a good option? I don't think, Gauri, baking soda is actually a good option. Um, I would recommend you can think of using some tooth powders, okay, or you can also resort to some herbal toothpastes. Uh, but textbooks don't mention toothpaste, right? So textbooks actually mentions powders and twigs. Twigs might not be practically possible. So I would say tooth powders would be a good choice, Gauri. Even after 8+ hours of continuous sleep, it doesn't feel restful. What could be the reason? Probably, Aditya, I feel that you might not be sleeping early. It's not the 8 hours that matters. If you're sleeping early, it might be about 9 o'clock. Sorry, at about 10 o'clock, and you sleep all the way up to 6. The right time to sleep. So it's not only the number of hours; it's also when you are getting that sleep. So if you sleep for that 8 hours during the night, I would say after a point, not one day, after a point of time, when you make that a regular habit, you'll find that you don't need an alarm to get up. You get up, completing your sleep, and you will feel fresh. Okay, and see what's going through your mind also sometimes, and what foods you're eating. Those things also matter. Is Vilwadi Lehium? No, I don't think Vilwadi Lehium is actually good for everyday use. Vilwadi Lehium helps for your stomach issues, your appetite, and all those things. I do agree, but it is a medicine. Okay, it is not. It's not a typical rasayana which promotes all the dhatus. So if you've got an issue and if a doctor's prescribed for you, have it. After that, if you feel okay, I would say you should have to discontinue that. In the morning, I don't go to toilet once, but I go multiple times. Normal, yes, Tejeshwara, it's again a habit. Sometimes some people clear their bowels only after multiple visits to the restroom. That is perfectly normal. Okay, you don't have to feel bad that I have to go twice in the morning or thrice in the morning. That's okay. It's again a habit. So sometimes what happens is you feel guilty and you feel tense about things. It's a habit, and if you're comfortable with it, it's okay. There's nothing unhealthy about it. I have noticed after eating dessert at night, I feel heavy and sleepy, but I suppose it's not an healthy option. Yeah, yeah, Priya. So see, you overeat food, definitely your kapha goes up, and then you will feel sleepy. Okay, that's the reason why we said people who don't sleep well, you have to have curd. Otherwise, it is not a good thing to have too much of desserts at night. It will immediately put you to sleep, and that can lead to indigestion over a period of time. Okay, once you have and you sleep well, that might be okay, but don't make that a habit. Okay. When is a good time to eat fruit? 4 p.m. Gauri, I would say if you look at fruit, most of the fruits cool the system down. So anything that can cool the system down would be better to be consumed when you have got sun on top. So I would say, yeah, as you said, worst come worst, maximum 3:34. You can have it in the mornings also. Don't have it. Might be about an hour or so before sunset. Maybe 5 o'clock. Might be too late because sunsets it gets cooler. Then the effect of the fruit can cool your body even more. So if you can have it during the day, maybe 11 o'clock or during with breakfast, that should be the best thing because you have got the whole day for it to get digested. Okay. Black pepper and milk taken before sleep, good for phlegm, kapha. Black pepper and milk, I would not recommend too much of black pepper with milk because properties are exactly opposite. Okay, if you want to reduce that kapha, I would say you can have something early in the morning, and it all depends upon where do you have that kapha. Okay, if it's in the upper respiratory or in the upper part of the body, yes, at bedtime makes sense. But otherwise, generally, if you want to reduce kapha, I would say see what you are eating and what kind of exercises you are following. So regular exercises will also reduce the kapha. Okay, because pepper, if you consume on a regular basis, after a point of time, the heat of the body also can go up. Okay, so see, pepper, all these things are also medicines, right? Just because we use that in the kitchen doesn't make it completely safe for regular consumption. Bear that in mind. Okay, my son doesn't do exercises, only working on system. That's physical work. That is the problem. Okay, see that he does a little bit of physical exercise because vyayamam is something which is has to be done on a regular basis. Can Chyawanprash be taken before sleep with milk? Yes, but there's always a chance of it not getting digested properly. Okay, because it's not something which is very easy to digest. So I would always recommend, if the doctor has recommended you for a specific issue, then fine. Otherwise, if you want to take it as a general tonic, I would say have it after breakfast in the morning followed by milk. Okay, so that you get enough time for it to get digested. You eat that and go to bed, might not be a good choice. Okay. um, when should the sweet be eaten, at first or last? Okay, sweet is something which is not sweet. Is if you're telling me about laddu, jalebi, kheer, and all those things, sweetened things are not something which has to be consumed on a regular basis. But if at all you're having it, then probably it takes a longer time to digest. So have it in the beginning of food, and the moment you have that, I would say you cut down the amount of food you eat because otherwise it becomes too much for the body to manage. Okay, you can have sweet in the beginning, and if it's a feast or something, dessert comes in the end. And if the feast you're having once a month or once in 2 3 months, it's okay, you can have it at the end of the meal also, but don't make that a habit, having too many feasts and eating too many sweets and ice creams and all those things. It is not healthy for the body. Can RA patients do Abhyanga over rest of the body apart from the painful joints? RA patients, I'll tell you, Gauri, if stiffness is more, then probably doing Abhyanga might increase the pain and the stiffness. But if the stiffness is not that bad, then yes, pouring oil on the body everywhere, wherever the person's got affected, also is a part of our treatment. So understanding what stage that RA is very important. For that, I would say, if you have got, I think you are in UK. If you have got somebody there whom you can consult and ask them, take guidance, that would be the best thing, because application of oil for an RA patient is not contraindicated, but certain conditions of RA, yes, it is not advisable. So we should be very sure about that. Please do one session, different kinds of fruit, doctors and asparagus, and how we have to consume them. Oh, yes, Priya, let me see. Okay, it's not an easy topic, but I'll try to do that. Okay. Few foods are prepared by cooking fruits. What does Ayurveda say about it? Yes, Ayurveda always says that anything that is cooked is easily digestible, because cooking is happening outside, cooking is happening here also. So once cooked, it's easily cookable. Hope you're able to understand that. So fruit cooking, fruit. So as far as children go and people who have got indigestion, we would say let them take everything cooked. So salads are not healthy for people who have got indigestion. Cooked food is easily digestible. That is the philosophy behind it. Okay, it can be fruit, it can be vegetable, it can be rice, it can be anything. You cook it, it's easily digestible. Naveen, even in a cold room, I often sweat when I eat. Is that normal? Yes, probably you might be having a little bit of more pitta. And also, it also depends upon what kind of food you are eating. If you're eating slightly spicy food, yes. And if you're a pitta person, then you have got a chance of sweating more than other people. It's quite normal, because the moment you eat food, your metabolism goes up. And metabolism can sometimes, it can come out, you can come out in the form of sweat also. It's quite normal. If you're profusely sweating, then it might be uncomfortable for you and for people looking at you. But otherwise, it's not. Don't worry too much about that. Okay. Can drinking excessive amount of fluids, including water up to 3 liters, can be contributing factors for acid reflux in a 70% in desktop? Yes, I would say, drinking too much of water, that means overhydrating yourself, is also not good. You can Google and see, dehydration, overhydration. Overhydration is equally bad. That means you keep on passing a lot of urine. Uh, Rare minerals and dissolve lot of things will actually go through your urine. Okay, we feel that you feel clean, but it's not that the water is only going. Not only toxins go, even good things can also get dissolved in water. They are also lost when you drink a lot of water. Okay, so yes, sometimes when you drink too much of water, the pitta, we call that, it can get a little bit displaced. So you have got a chance of getting acid reflux. Yes, so we say don't drink too much of water. As per ancient, patient 3 times a day is a rogi and 2 times is a bhogi. It is said consuming food. Will you please see? Ayurveda doesn't talk even. Ayurveda doesn't even talk about 3 times. Kamalnath. Okay, it says you eat twice. That means we have to understand that a person who's eating twice is a bhogi. Thrice doesn't arise at all. These are things which came later, and we people, modern people, have told yes, a person who eats thrice is a rogi. Ayurveda doesn't tell anything about that. So it all depends on what kind of work you are doing and how much of physical labor you are doing. Probably in this kind of life where you get up in the morning and go for work, and then have something to eat in the afternoon and at night and all those things. Yeah, eating thrice daily, according to the modern life, I would say it's okay, but don't overeat. Okay, eating twice, yes, if you're sitting at home, you're working from home, then twice might be okay for you. So I would not say you have, but eating more than 3 times, 4 times, and all, I would not say it is advisable. Okay, I don't think you have to eat so many times. I would say maximum thrice is fine. Okay, I think we are coming to the end. Okay. Every day my breakfast is banana plus soaked peanuts plus soaked nuts. Anything I should be concerned? Um, I don't know, Tejoshra, why you are eating banana plus soaked peanuts with soaked nuts. Uh, I think something which you are normally used to or genetically used to might be a good option for you. uh, these things, after a point of time, they might not, probably you might start losing weight. It might also be due to denourishment. I'm not somebody who can clearly say, because I don't know, I've not gone through your case in detail. But I would just want to ask you, why are you consuming this? Has some doctor, if a doctor has told you to have this for breakfast sometime, then I don't want to comment on that. But otherwise, I don't know where you are from. Okay, depending upon which region you are from, I would say eating traditional food might be a good choice. My son sweat smell is stinking in spite of taking bath. How can be avoided? He might be more of, because as you said, he is sedentary. I think I remember that he's sedentary and is putting a lot of weight. There is too much of fat, bad fat in the system, and bad fat creates bad smelling sweat. Okay, so he has to get up, he has to drink a little bit of water, and he has to do physical activities, burn that fat, and then become much trimmer and healthier. Okay. Is raw onion okay to eat? Raw onion, in my opinion, is too tikshna. If you cook it, it becomes slightly better. Raw onion, it is too acidic, in my opinion. So I would say cooking it is much, much better. Okay, it increases a lot of rajas also. Okay, so but it is rochanam in the sense it increases the taste of the food. You can consume it, no problem. But it's not the same case with garlic. Garlic, by and large, you will see in medicines here and there, but not too much as food. Okay. What food options can be considered to keep breakfast very, very light? Some suggestions, Dr. Priya. It again depends upon which part of the world you are from. If you're from Tamil Nadu, then probably having pongal or idiyappam or something which you make then and there, upma, anything, you don't have to be very strict about following something. Whatever you eat little bit and see that your tummy is not filled too much. Okay, so you have got your options. Eat healthy. Don't go for smoothies or nuts or only fruit and all those things, which is something which might not be sustainable for long. Okay, whatever you eat with a be grateful for whatever is being served. Eat little, and then move on. Is it okay to eat grated radish and lemon and salt along with my regular meat? It's like an instant pickle, but a mild one. I don't know if you feel okay with it, it's fine. But after a point of time, I don't know how it's going. See, you might feel good, but if you're doing it, if you're doing it consistently, only you will know whether it's got bad effects or not. Once in a while, you have it for taste. I don't think it's a problem for you. You have to go ahead and do it if you feel good about it. But if you do it consistently, then only we'll know what are the bad effects it can result in. Okay. Some say body has to spend extra energy to digest cooked food. It also felt because after eating cooked food I get sleep, but if I raw salad I don't get sleep. Okay, cooked food actually takes lesser time. The moment you cook food, it becomes lagu, which is guru. Okay, but you look at raw food, you cannot eat the raw food does not put you to sleep because you can't eat the same quantity of the you eat when it is cooked. So if you eat the same quantity, in the sense you measure it, you what do you call, you weigh raw food, it might come to close to about 100 grams or 200 grams. You eat only 200 grams of cooked food, you will not feel sleepy. It is the amount of food that goes inside actually puts you to sleep. Okay, but easy to cook is always, according to Ayurveda, is always cooked food. Okay. Despite your will you make yourself address a question, really appreciate. Oh, thank you very much. It's all His grace, and it's always good to give back. Okay, and it's my privilege also that I feel happy, spending time with you people and answering questions. Thanks a lot. It's His grace. Okay. Manibhadra Lehiam is recommended to loosen, but the main ingredient is jaggery, which you have mentioned is difficult to digest. Can you please elaborate? Should it be had with milk? See, Manibhadra Lehiam is it's actually a revised version of the medicine. It's actually Manibhadra Guda. Okay, we actually pound it with jaggery and give. Okay, here the thing is that it's a medicine, and the other ingredients apart from jaggery. Jaggery is not something which is constipating. Jaggery is also helps you create soft bowels. So other medicines. So vidanga sara amalaka bhayanam palam palam trini palani kumbhat. Gudasya cha dwadasha. 12 of all these things. 12 parts is Guda. What you said is right. It has to be pound and given. So it is amazing medicine. It is normally given after the person has undergone treatment for skin issues. Yes, in certain conditions, if you have to give it for purgation, yes, you can give it. But the indications, what I'm telling you, okay. So it is difficult to digest when it is consumed in large quantities. So normally, when Manibhadra is given, we don't normally give it for loose motions at bedtime. Okay, prescriptions we do, right? But if you give it for purgation, we give it early morning on empty stomach. Okay, good question, Prasad. My son is very thin, and why is sweat stinking? Yeah, so probably his metabolism might not be right. He might not be digesting or assimilating food the right way. Okay, and If he's pitta prakriti people will have a tendency also to have the sweat stinking, but not as bad as kapha people. They also will have stinky sweat. First of all, if he's a young boy, ask him to be a little bit more hygienic also. He might be, I'm just giving you, I don't know why. Ask him to drink decent water and ask him also to do decent exercises, so whatever is there comes out through the sweat. Okay. Uh, yeah, you can meet me personally. I'm in Cochin, but tomorrow I'm leaving for the US. I'll not be there for a month. Okay, I'm conducting seminars, conferences, and a lot of activities happening in the US. So I'll be in New York, Seattle, Phoenix, Arizona, and Los Angeles. So if you are in the US, yes, we can meet in the US. Otherwise, if you're in India, I am based out of Cochin. You can meet me in Cochin, or monthly once I travel to Chennai, mostly the first Sunday of every month. So you can decide. Okay. You have green flag to radish on a day. You took sessions on what to eat on a daily basis, but more than in summer, I like to eat it like an instant pickle, doctor. Yes, no, you know, mulika is something which you can have on a regular basis. That's not a problem. But my question is, should you have it raw? Is my only question. Okay, if you have it raw, is very 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 tangy and spicy. Okay, but if you cook it, it mellows down a little bit. And if you're feeling okay with it, have it. But as I said, don't overdo it, or don't try to take something consistently. But when you mean radish here, it according to Ayurveda, it is cooked radish. Okay. Yeah, Naveen, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Kamalnath, thank you, thanks a lot. Yep. I used to feel hunger at correct times, but I'm not feeling like hunger after lockdown. How to increase that old hunger feeling? Any symptoms of disease? I am not very sure, Teja, until and unless we go through a consultation. I might not be able to. Something might have disturbed your pattern, probably your eating habits, or your sleeping habits, or your exercise habits, or we don't know, probably stress also. There might be a lot of factors which contribute to you not sleeping well. So probably if you sit, we have a one-on-one session, or you can have it with some good doctor somewhere close to your place, then we might be able to catch that one small thing. One small change might actually change a lot of things. So that's something which we have to catch. Okay. Ambika, coming to Bangalore anytime. I used to come to Bangalore a couple of years back, but let's see. I have got plans, but haven't finalized anything. If yes, probably might be 3 or 6 months down the line. I might start coming to Bangalore also once a month. I've got a lot of patients and people who reach out to me online from Bangalore. So I was thinking, yes, let me see. But when I go to Bangalore, so people say, "Oh, that place is very far. This place is very far." People don't want to travel, even if you are in Bangalore. If I am in one place, if I'm in Jayanagar, some person says very far. If I am in some other place, they say very far. So that's the reason why I mainly stopped coming to Bangalore. Okay. Um, thank you, Naveen. Yeah. I'll be back within a month. So these sessions are not going to happen for the next 1 month, because the time zones are extremely difficult for me to, because 9 o'clock here in New York will be 11:30 in the morning, which I feel I might be in my seminar or peak work. So it might not be possible. Okay. So I'll see you after 4 weeks, and we'll catch up. Yeah, Tejashra, philosophy books, anything which excites me, I go through. Advaita is something which I really love. Adi Shankara's Advaita, amazing. You can go through that, and it will really help you. Okay, so thanks a lot. Good night, and see you soon. 1 month's break. Okay, 4 weeks break, and I'm definitely gonna be back. Okay, bye. Yes, probably last week of October. Okay, Priya. Okay. Okay, okay, Ambika, good night. Take care.